Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel ForexPnL, where you focus on making big profits and small losses. Today is Friday, the 7th of January 2022, and this is the first weekly forecast of this year as promised. I'm really excited coming into this year, time for us to, start trading the markets again. As you guys already know, there are more things that I have planned for this particular channel. Of recent, we've been doing mostly of Weekly Forex Forecast, and I also made a video towards the end of last year where I explained to you guys that in addition to these Weekly Forex Forecast videos, I'm now going to be making midweek Forex Forecast videos, all right, that will be released, let's say, on the early hours of Wednesday, all right, just after midnight, okay, the early hours of Wednesday. Because as you guys already know, sometimes we do this weekend Forex Forecast, and then when the market opens on Sunday, the markets can open at any level, okay, or move in any way on Monday or so. Because of that, I think it is actually worth it for us to take a look at the markets on, from a midweek perspective, and also do like a midweek Forex forecast, which is the reason why I am introducing those particular videos. And in addition to that, I'm also going to be making a weekly Forex trade reviews video, and that will actually be a review of the trades that I have taken during the week. Personally, I'm going to be starting my own trading on the 17th of this month, all right? I'm still going to take next week off, but I believe that there is now significant liquidity in the markets that it's safe to start trading. But I just wanted to let you guys know that my own trading is going to be starting on the 17th, all right? So enough of my rambling, guys. Without any further delays, guys, let's go and see what we have in stock for this particular video. Now, I'm going to be kicking things off as usual with a look at the economical calendar for next week. And as you can see here, next week we have a light schedule on the calendar. So on Sunday, we have bank holidays in Japan, and nothing on Monday, okay? And these are just the high impact news that I'm taking a look at, okay? So, but then on Tuesday, we have the Fed chair, okay? Powell is going to be testifying, and then on Wednesday, we have the CPI releases, all right? So of recent, these CPI releases have been moving the markets significantly. So that is one to keep an eye on, especially since we are expecting a significant deviation from the previous release. So that's one to keep an eye on Wednesday, all right? I believe that's most likely going to be a market mover. And then on Thursday, the 13th, we also have from the United States axis the month-over-month PPI release. Again, another significant deviation is anticipated. So that's another one to keep an eye on. And then on Friday, we have the retail sales data coming out from the United States axis as well. For now, it's just news coming from the United States axis, and in my own opinion, these are the news items that I will be paying attention to, if I will be trading next week. Okay, so this is something for you to keep an eye on as you go into next week and as you take your trades. So that's pretty much it from the economical calendar. So now I'll be taking a look at the charts. I actually have a change in the approach that I now have for this particular forecast going forward. So what I will be doing is every weekend I'm going to be taking a look at the 8 major currency pairs, regardless of what they look like at the given point in time. Okay, so all those 8 majors, I'm going to be taking a look at them and giving you guys my input as to what I think the market is doing at that particular point. All right, and then in addition to those majors, those 8 majors, I'm also going to be taking a look at some cross pairs that are giving me a structural level to keep an eye on going into the upcoming week. All right, so I just wanted to put that out. In the past, I have just been putting out just the currency pairs that give me a structural level, but from the inputs that I get from the comment section, what I will be doing going forward in this channel is to give you guys my own input on the 8 majors, and then any additional currency pairs, okay, the cross pairs that give me a structural level to keep an eye on. All right, so without any further delays, guys, I'm going to be starting with US dollar Swiss francs, and right now I'm taking a look at the monthly time frame. As you can see from the monthly time frame, not much is going on in this particular pair. The weekly supply selling origin is still being respected. You can see last month's candle closed pretty much an inside bar, at least at this particular point, showing low volatility in my own opinion, even though it ended a bearish week. But you can see that the market is now slowly again giving us another push to the upside. This market for the past few months has not been going anywhere. It's just been a ranging market, okay, which I believe is going to be clearer in the smaller time frames, okay, as we start taking a look at the smaller time frames. Now, zooming into the weekly time frame, Now, in the weekly time frame, what do we have here? Clearly, we can see this particular trend line that we have that has pretty much been holding price for a while now. But then last week, we got price giving us a close below that trend line. But you can see for this particular week, again, the bulls came into the market. And this can easily be a fake, okay, to grab liquidity below this trend line and maybe for things again to continue to the upside. Who knows? Only time will tell. But for now, this is the information that I can, get from this particular time frame. Now, taking a look at the 4 hours time frame, what do we have here? Now, in the 4 hours time frame, it's looking as if maybe we might be looking for a possible push to the upside. Okay, you can see this market has been giving us nice push to the downside, forming lower highs and lower lows with each move, and then finally after we bottomed out here, the market gave us a very nice push to the upside, breaking these levels of structure to the upside and creating this demand zone in the process. And as you can see, price gave us a pullback into that demand zone, found support, and again the market is now giving us another push to the upside, breaking this level of structure. Okay, you can see pretty much it's almost like it's a triple top that we have in this area, okay, this area of resistance. All right, so that's a significant level to keep an eye on. And as you can see here, earlier this week the market gave us a very nice push, okay, to the upside. From here, this is where the decision was made to give us a nice move to the upside. So price gave us a very nice push to the upside, breaking above this area of resistance that we have, this level of structure, and right around that 0.9200 area, we got a nice push above there, creating this 4 hours demand zone in the process. And right now the market is now trading back inside that demand zone area. Okay, so in my own opinion, who knows, only time can tell what the market will do. But this is a significant demand zone. If the market opens next week and let's say we get the market to give us a reversal from this area, from here I'll be looking for an opportunity to go long again for further continuations to the upside, keeping an eye on these levels of resistance that we have in this area. Okay, that's pretty much my game plan for US dollar and Swiss francs. Now, next up is going to be Euro US dollar. Okay, now in Euro US dollar, let's take a look again at the monthly time frame and see what is going on here. Not much as anticipated. The month of December, we did not have much of a volatility, and you can see the markets just gave us very little trading range, also an inside bar, which means that our markets can break out in any particular direction. Let's see how that will happen. But for now, in my own opinion, it's as if we are going to be gravitating towards this monthly demand zone in the long run before this market makes a decision as to whether to give us a nice push to the upside or whether to break below this monthly demand zone. But in my own opinion, from the look of things now, maybe we might get price give us a retest of this monthly demand zone, maybe to retest 1.10 area, and then from there maybe we might get another push to the upside. But that is what I can see from this particular time frame. Maybe a little consolidation and then another nice push to the downside into this monthly demand zone. All right, that's what I can see from the monthly time frame. Now, taking a look at the weekly time frame, what do we have here? Well, in the weekly time frame, things become a little clearer. If you guys remember last year, I told you guys I'm keeping an eye on this particular demand zone that we have in this area, okay, that led to the break of this level of structure right here. So this demand zone is the reason why price is stalling around this area. In my own opinion, it is very, very possible. It's very, very possible that we might get a nice push to the upside into this particular weekly supply zone that was formed here as a result of the break of these levels of structure that we have here. Okay, so this weekly supply zone can easily be retested, but in my own opinion, you can see that slowly but surely the market is now forming lower highs and lower lows with every push to the downside. All right, so the bears are in control in the moment, or at the moment. So what I would love to see in this particular currency pair right now is for maybe price to give me another retest of this weekly supply zone, keeping an eye closely around that 1.1550, 1.1600 area. Anywhere from right around here, I'll be expecting this market to give me maybe another reversal to the downside. At least that is the picture that I am seeing from the weekly time frame. Okay, I would like to see a retest again to the downside into this particular monthly demand zone right around 1.10. Okay, All right, that's it for the weekly time frame. Taking a look at the daily time frame, again in the daily time frame, you begin to see the downtrend clearer. You can see the very nice swinging pattern that this market has put up. Okay, but in the moment, you will notice that this market is currently consolidating in a flat top triangular consolidation. Okay, so who knows what can happen. From the daily time frame, this market can easily find resistance at the top of this flat top triangle, and from here might give us a push to the downside. Okay, but personally I would love to see price give me maybe a push above this level of resistance, the top of this triangle, giving us a break above 1.1400 institutional price level, and then from there maybe another retest of this level, give us a push to the upside into this weekly supply zone, from where any reversals to the downside, I would love to see the bears come into these markets and take things again to the downside. Now always remember, this is not what must happen in the market, but this is how I see this market at this particular point in time. Okay, my views can change, okay, at any point in time depending on the price action that the market is showing me, but this is the reason why I'm also introducing the midweek forex forecast, in case things change. Let's say the market opens and we just begin to push to the downside, breaking below this trend line, okay, this trend line. And then from here, I'll be looking for, other levels, supply zones that form for further continuations to the downside. It's that simple, guys, okay? But at this particular point in time, this is what I'm seeing in this market. Possible break to the upside into this weekly supply zone for further continuations to the downside. Or also a possible break of this trend line that we have here and a possible retest of that trend line for further continuations to the downside. Those are the things that I can see right now in terms of price action of euro dollar from the daily time frame. All right, now taking a look at the 4 hours time frame, not much is going on, to be completely honest with you. Again, price has a significant level of resistance right around that 1.1387 level. Okay, so let's see how that goes. Okay, personally, if the market opens next week, again, a possible trading opportunity for me is going to be a break above that particular level of resistance, a pullback to retest it. Maybe we might have some demand zones in the 4 hours time frame from there, or even in the hourly time frame for another push to the upside. Okay, but again, as usual, guys, I'm going to be making an update in the midweek forex forecast that I'll be putting out on Wednesday, 1 a.m. Eastern time. All right, so keep an eye out on that for that particular video. All right, so that's it for euro US dollar. Next up is going to be Australian dollar US dollar. Okay, from the in Australian dollar US dollar, not much from the longer time frame. Okay, as you guys remember, this is obviously a demand zone that I had mapped out. Okay, I just didn't want to put it out here because I don't want to clutter my charts, but this is a demand zone that we have on the monthly time frame as a result of this break of structure, and right now price has given us a pullback into that area. Who knows? Remember, this is the very long time frame, so it's taking time to form up. Okay, there is no confirmation yet that this demand zone right here is going to hold, so I would say hold your horses till we get that particular confirmation that the market is now going to be trending to the upside. Now, from a weekly perspective, not much. We obviously have this weekly supply zone in this area that was formed as a result of this break of structure in this particular zone. All right, so it's very possible from here, if we get a push to the upside into this weekly supply zone, I will anticipate that some bears will probably come into this market, maybe to form a retracement for further continuations to the upside or for another push to the downside. Who knows? Only time will tell. Okay, but that's all I can see from the weekly perspective. All right, now from the daily time frame, what do we have here? Now in the daily, you notice that price gave us this significant push to the downside. Finally, we had obviously this supply zone. Price hesitated a little bit, found resistance in this particular area, finally gave us a nice push to the upside that broke above this level of resistance, this structural level right here, creating this demand zone on the daily time frame. And you can see that right now price just gave us a push into that daily time frame demand zone, and you can see that today actually we got that test, and that's around 0.7125 level, and from there the market is giving us a little push again to the upside. All right, so who knows, this demand zone might hold price for another push to the upside, but again, there is no confirmation yet, in my own opinion. Okay, so but it's interesting or very, very important for us to keep an eye on this demand zone that we have on the daily time frame. All right, now from the 4 hours time frame, in my own opinion, not much. We had obviously this area that was working as this support and resistance zone. Not much in my own opinion. Price can easily give us a push to the upside and find resistance off of 0.7200. No supply zones for me to keep an eye on, so I'm not going to waste my time on this particular time frame at the moment. Okay, but well, that's all I can see right now. We have a demand zone that price is bouncing off of on the daily time frame. That's what I can see right now in Australian dollar, US dollar. Again, let's watch and see how the market opens, what happens on Monday and Tuesday, and then by Wednesday I'm going to be showing you guys what I think for this particular currency pair, you know, in the midweek forex forecast. Okay, all right, next up is going to be New Zealand US dollar. Now for New Zealand US dollar, what do we have here? I think the price action is pretty similar to that of Australian dollar US dollar, in my opinion. Obviously we have this daily demand zone, we have this monthly demand zone and weekly demand zone. Okay, so this is a nested demand zone area right around 0.6700 institutional price level. So you can see last month price pretty much found a low. The low of last month was 0.6700, and from there, we got some rejection, and you can see that last month's candle closed a pin bar off of that institutional price level that is sitting in a nested demand zone. Okay, so that's something to keep an eye on. All right, in my opinion, again, no confirmations yet, just like in the case of Australian dollar, US dollar, but it's something to keep an eye on, in my own opinion. All right, now taking a look at the weekly time frame, not much in my opinion. Price is just bouncing off of a weekly demand zone, but not much to be said here. We also have a weekly supply zone that is sitting up here, and that was formed as a result of this break of structure at this level. So something to keep an eye on. All right, now moving into the daily, in my own opinion, not much is happening in the daily. Just price gave us a swing to the downside, a little pullback, and the bears are still in this market. That's just all I can say for this particular moment. Okay, and well, if we now go into the 4 hours time frame, things become interesting in my own opinion. Price gave us a nice push to the upside. We hesitated a little bit, and finally you can see that the bears now came into this market. Okay, gave us a nice push to the downside, breaking below this level of structure that we have in this area. Okay, and right now price has given us a pullback into that supply zone, in my own opinion. Okay, so well, let's see how this market develops early next week. Okay, in the event that, let's say, we get another retest of this 4 hour supply zone, and then from here the market begins to bounce off of this area, I'll be looking for an opportunity to go shorts, okay, for further continuations to the downside. All right, for maybe even another possible retest of 0.6700. okay, let's see how that goes. All right, that's it for New Zealand US dollar. Next up is going to be British pounds US dollar. Now for cable, this market is behaving accordingly, in my opinion. Not much from the monthly time frame, in my own opinion. So in the weekly time frame, what do we have? If you guys remember from the weekly time frame, this is a falling channel that I had identified last year. Okay, I think price was here around that time, and I told you guys that this return line that is might easily work as support for this particular currency pair, and from here you can see that is exactly what this market is doing. And right now we are getting that push to the upside towards the trend line of this falling channel, which in my own opinion is something you should keep an eye on. Okay, right now price can easily find resistance off of the top of that trend line. Okay, and then from there we can easily bounce back again and for another push to the downside. Who knows, again, only time can tell, but that is what I can see from this particular time frame. And also do not discard the fact that we have a supply zone in this particular area as well that price can easily respect. So don't be surprised if this market gives us a push to the upside, looking as though we have broken away from this particular trend line, only for price to dip into this particular supply zone, pick up some orders, and bang, again, another push to the downside. All right, that's a possibility. It must not happen, but it's very, very important that we are cognizant of that. Okay, now taking a look at the daily time frame, in my own opinion, there's not much to talk about in the daily time frame. Price again is approaching that trend line, all right, of this falling channel, And well, that's really about it at this particular moment. Okay, yes, we are trending in the 4 hours time frame, but in my own opinion, I really don't like this uptrend that much. Okay, it can easily run out of gas, so I would like to see further price action before I make any forecast in British pounds, US dollar. Okay, so this is another one that I'm going to be giving an update in the midweek forex forecast. Now, next up, US dollar, Canadian dollar. What do we have here? The monthly time frame. You can see in the monthly time frame, actually for last month, price fell shy of 1.3000. If you guys remember, I told you guys I would like to see price give us a possible retest of 1.3000 in this currency pair. But right now, price actually just fell shy, and from there it's as if the BS are now coming into this market. Well, let's see how that goes. Okay, not much. In the weekly time frame, what do we have? Not much in the weekly time frame. It's looking as though the BS are now about to come into this market. Price gave us a push to the upside, and for the past 2-3 weeks, the BS have now come into these markets and are now pushing these markets seriously to the downside. That's something to keep an eye on. There's also a possible trend line that we have in this area that price can easily find support off of, which is something you should keep an eye on in my own opinion. Okay, but that's not what I'm going to be basing my trade off of. I just wanted to let you guys know that that is something to keep an eye on. All right, but at this particular moment, if you take a look at the daily time frame, what do you have? Just reading price action, you notice that price was giving us a very nice push to the upside, forming higher highs and higher lows in the process, and then all of a sudden, what happens? We get this nice push to the downside that led to the break of this level of structure. All right, so this push that we have to the downside led to the break of this level of structure. Okay, so after this nice push to the downside, price has given us a push to the upside into now this daily supply zone, and you can see that's where that area is now working as significant resistance, and the bears are now coming into this market. So in the interim, price is looking as though we are going to be moving to the downside. Okay, I'm going to be more interested in searching for short opportunities as far as this particular currency pair is concerned. So going into next week, I would like to see the bears continue to push this market again to the downside. All right, and for right now, there are no structural levels yet, to be completely honest with you. Taking a look at the bigger picture, we might actually have a trend line in here. Let's see what happens here. All right, so if I do this, perfect. So this is actually a textbook trend line, break of a trend line and a retest of the trend line. So you can see how well this trend line has pretty much been holding price right in this process, and finally what happens? We get a break of that trend line right here. This is where that decision was made to break this trend line, and you can see that we now got a retest of that particular trend line from below, and the BS came back again, and they're now pushing the markets clearly again to the downside. So in my own opinion, this is something, a pair that I'm going to be keeping an eye on if I was trading next week. And right now, yes, we are yet to take off this level of structure, but I'm going to be keeping an eye on this particular area, okay, after we get some trading for next week. Okay, so this is another one I'm going to be giving an update in the midweek forex forecast. All right, so let's see what happens. Do we get a break of this level? Then I'm going to be keeping an eye on this particular supply zone that is going to be formed in the 4 hours time frame. It's not yet a supply zone, okay, because we don't have a break of this level of structure. So I'm going to be keeping an eye on this, and I'll be giving you guys the update in the midweek forex forecast. Okay, now that's it for US dollar, Canadian dollar. Next up is US dollar, Japanese yen. Now for US dollar, Japanese yen, this pair has just been pushing to the upside, okay? And actually for this particular week, it's looking as if we are going to be closing this week a pin bar. Okay, you can see that we got a very nice push to the upside. All right, but then the BS came into this market, and it's looking as if it's now going to be a rejection. So for this particular week, it's going to be interesting to see how the market opens next week. But this week's candle is now looking as if it's going to be a rejection candle for maybe a possible push to the downside. Who knows? But that's what I can see right here. This is a pin bar, all right, in my own opinion. Now, Now, taking a look at the daily time frame, well, we have this daily demand zone right here, okay, that led to the break of this level of structure, in my own opinion. So it's very possible that whenever we get, let's say, price give us a dip into this daily demand zone, anywhere from right around here, it's very possible that if we get a bounce, price can give us another push to the upside, okay? Again, that's a big if. It depends on how the market behaves when and if we get to that level. All right, now in the 4 hours time frame, price is slowly but surely approaching the demand zone that we have in the 4 hours time frame. You can see right now price actually closed right around 115.50 institutional price level, so it will be interesting to see where this market opens, but we have a demand zone that is sitting, okay, just below that particular price level. So let's see how the market opens and what the market does early on Monday. If we get reversal patterns from here, I'll be looking for an opportunity to go long for further continuations to the upside. But to be honest with you, based on the candle close that we got last week, I would personally love to see you know, this level broken and maybe see how price behaves around 1,500 institutional price level, okay, which is the demand zone that we have on the daily time frame, okay? But again, only time will tell, and I'll be updating as well. Okay, next up, British pound, some Japanese yen. What do we have here? This pair is not looking so good, to be completely honest with you. Yes, we are bullish. Yes, the market is pushing to the upside, but no clear price action, okay? And we're taking a look at the monthly time frame, and you see that for the past few months, this pair has not been going anywhere, all right? It's been ranging in the longer time frame. However, that's actually a big range. As we begin to zoom into the smaller time frames, you begin to see that there are possible trading opportunities that are actually within that big monthly range, okay? Now, in the weekly time frame right now, you see that price is now trading pretty close to the top of this level of resistance, top of the range, okay? So that's something to keep an eye on. And right now, price gave us a push, and well, this week closed the bullish candle, but at the same time, you know, we have some significant wick to the upside and also to the downside. So not the best of candles, but again, it's a bullish week, okay? Something to keep an eye on. Now, on the daily time frame, obviously, we have this demand zone right here, all right? You can see this demand zone that led to the break of this level of structure. So another one to keep an eye on, in my opinion. So very possible that if the market opens next week, we might get a dip into this particular demand zone, and then from here the bulls can come into this market again and continue pushing this to the upside. Who knows? Only time can tell. And we also have another demand zone in this area, okay? I didn't map it out, so don't be surprised if we get a price action of this nature pushing into this particular demand zone that led to the break of this level of structure, and then from here price can easily give us another bounce to the upside, okay? But again, only time will tell what happens in this particular market. But in the 4 hours time frame, this is a significant zone, in my own opinion, right around that 155.50 institutional price level. Personally, I'll be keeping an eye on this one early next week to see if we get a push to 155.50 area, anywhere from right around here. If I get a reversal, I'll be looking for an opportunity to go long for further continuations to the upside. All right, so that's it for British pound, Japanese yen, and that's it for the majors. Right now, I have two cross pairs that are giving me structural levels to keep an eye on, okay? And the first one is British pound, some New Zealand dollar. Now, for British pound, New Zealand dollar, this market has also been pushing to the upside. Taking a look at the well, one second, let me take this out. Taking a look at the daily demand zone that we have in this particular neighborhood right here, that was formed as a result of a break of this level of structure. You can see this area that's been working as resistance on this particular chart. Finally, we got a nice push to the upside to break above that level right around 1.9700 institutional price level. All right, so from a daily time frame, that's a demand zone, and should we get price to give us a push to that particular demand zone, I'll be looking for bounces for further continuations to the upside. All right, that would be my preferred game plan in British pound and New Zealand dollar. Also, zooming into the 4 hours time frame, we also have a very nice demand zone that formed in this particular neighborhood as a result of the break of this level of structure, okay, right around, let's say, 1.9900, 1.9850 area. So let's see if the market gives us a push into that area. Any reversals that I get from there, I'll be looking for an opportunity to go long for further continuations to the upside. All right, that's pretty much my game plan for British pounds and New Zealand dollar going into next week. Now, the last but not the least is British pounds and Swiss francs. All right, This pair also is looking bullish in my own opinion. Looking at this particular chart in the weekly time frame, you'll notice that actually this demand zone was mapped out from last year. Okay, so you can see that price just gave us a dip into that demand zone, and right now we are beginning to bounce off of that area. The bulls are protecting this demand zone, and we are getting another push to the upside. It's also important to note that we have a supply zone right here, also on the weekly time frame, that was formed as a result of this break of structure right here. So, well, it's very, very possible that the markets can give us a push into the supply zone, and then from here we can easily get another push to the downside. Who knows? Only time can tell, but it's important to keep an eye on that particular area as an area of possible resistance on our charts. Okay, now taking a look at the daily time frame, not much in my own opinion. So in the 4 hours time frame, what do we have? Obviously a very nice uptrend. You can see how the market is forming higher highs and higher lows. We have a range and then finally break again in the direction of the trend, okay, to the upside, and then continues to form higher highs and higher lows. All right, so this is a significant level in my own opinion. This particular demand zone that we have right around 1.2400 institutional price level. Okay, so personally, let's see what happens early next week in the event that we get price to give us a push into this particular demand zone in the 4 hours time frame, and it reverses from here. I'll be looking for an opportunity to go long for further continuations to the upside. All right, so that's it for this particular week's analysis. This weekly forex forecast. As usual, guys, I told you that I'm now introducing a midweek forex forecast that I'll be releasing on the early hours of Wednesday, right around 1 a.m. Eastern time on Wednesday. All right, so keep an eye out for that particular analysis, and I'm going to be running it every week, just like this particular video. And also, I'm going to be making a video showing you guys my trade reviews, okay, for the trades that I have taken for that particular week in the accounts that I'll be opening for this channel, okay, just like I explained in the previous video. So that's it for this particular video, guys. Hopefully you've gained some value from this, and if you have, please do not forget to click on that like button, subscribe to the channel, click on the notification bell so that you will always get updates whenever I post a video. Cheers, and that's it from my own end. Have a nice weekend and a profitable week ahead. Bye-bye.